Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Potty Mouth Garden Club. Yes, Stephen has just sat in that seat there now, messing around with his backdrop there. Stephen, can I just bring you in? Oh, you see?
Hello, mate. I've been here for ages. I don't know what you're on about.
Me heart in me mouth there. We've had a few little technical issues today, so we'll not be able to do the all together. This one, for some reason, JB's coming up then. I don't know. It's just getting this, like, I can't work it out. So we're not doing the all thing, but we have everyone here. We've got JB, we've got Audrey, and we've got Stephen. A few little things. In the Discord tonight, after this show, there's links all around. We have a late Potty Mouth chat. So if you want to pop over there, it's like if you haven't got your question asked or anything like that, just pop over to the Discord, links there, and then we're going to host a little live. It's only voice, but you can put your hand up and you can chat, and we'll have Eli from Eli and Kate's Kitchen Garden in there as well. So that is fantastic. We might not all come in because it's we're chatting on here, and it's a long time to keep everyone here for free. So let us run.
Free? Who said free?
Oh, that's free. Are you still waiting for your peer packets? There's
I am, yeah.
One other thing.
I know the time.
There's one other thing. Questions now. I've got a good idea. I found out I might be able to kind of get them a bit quicker. If you just put a capital Q before your questions, well, just a capital Q, then I can search for capital Q on my search of the questions, and all your questions will pop up. Or if not, failing that, like I say, join the Discord, and we're having a little kind of a late Potty Mouth Garden Club there. I think that is it. Let me run the intro. So there you go. Yes. So, like I say, we haven't got the all in, but I'll just like to bring in Audrey just to make sure Audrey is there as well. The muse, my muse of gardening. Look at Audrey, because Audrey gardens in Disney World. Everything's bright, everything grows, no diseases, nothing. Audrey, you look fantastic. Are you good? Are you well?
I'm great.
Now, if you look if you look in your little top left-hand corner, I've done that for all of it as well. We can see what your weather's like, and at the moment it is 25 degrees C. Yes, proper temperature. God. So we can see what your temperature is there, Audrey, and it's been. I was even looking through the night because I was night shift, you see. So I was even looking through the night to see what temperature. It's up. It's all over the place. You know what I mean? It's a brutal Disneyland. You're working in conditions.
And tomorrow we're going to be at 37 centigrade.
Man.
Yep.
Oh, get the watering cans out. My
whole garden is bolting. It's all bolting.
Oh, no. It's just a horrible thing that all my what you call it, all my coriander.
Oh,
cilantro, I think, for use over there is every single plant has gone and bolted, and as you can see,
it always does.
But I know. Tony, if you let it go to seed, you get coriander seeds.
Yes, well, that's
and you can use it as a spice.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
That's my tip for the day.
Is that it, Audrey? Yes. Don't forget, everyone. Yes, we have the tip for the day coming at the end of the show. So, JB, 19 degrees C in Gosport there, eh? Bit chilly for you, because I'm 21 there. But I did notice you must have had a lovely day today, because it was 22 degrees, like say this afternoon. So,
yeah, it was one of those where it's quite cool because there's a nice breeze. But when if you're sat or you're working in the heat of the sun, it's a lot warmer than that. But yeah, really nice. It's generally a bit milder on the coast this time of year.
And just ask, I just want to, check, dot the I's and cross the T's. Your greenhouse windows are open today. You got some ventilation.
Yeah,
yeah, good. That's
yeah,
all right.
I did have a moment earlier where I was like, did I leave them? Did I leave them closed?
I've been there. I've done that and been there, done that as well. Stephen, I forgot to kind of mention this. Is your little gadgets working on your Ron Heath method?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
I watched your video, but I was thinking that's a biggish kind of polytunnel for like a little window. Is it making a difference? The kind of both ends.
Huge difference.
Oh,
huge
right.
difference. I mean, last year I was measuring temperatures in there sometimes, and this was silly temps at 55, 58 last year on some days.
Right.
And some days it was just too hot to check. It's one of them days when you open the door and the heat just belts out and slaps you in the face, But I'm not getting that anymore. In the mornings when I go down, the windows are already sort of 2 or 3 inches open by the time I get there. Even this morning at 6:30, they were open at that time, 2 or 3 inches, and then sort of by 11 o'clock, they're open 1.5 feet. And that's even with the doors open because the wax cylinders gets warm, and that just opens them up. They're absolutely brilliant.
Because I recommend everyone to go and see that video because it was what I loved as well, Steve. When I first seen this thing, I was thinking, how is that going to work? You know what I mean? But the video just took it step by step. And even I got it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was thinking,
wow.
Oh, I know. You know what I mean? Oh, he's on top form, isn't he? The old boy's on top form.
You got to be when you're around.
But no, I love it.
You've always got that picture of the straw hat, so there you go.
Yes. I think I've got actually somewhere. There you go.
There it is.
So they actually make a difference, but you're still. Because you went because our little kind of WhatsApp group, you said you were going down about 6:30 this morning. I think it was on WhatsApp. You know what I mean? Do you open your doors even though you've got these? Would you make a concerted effort to go and open them doors even though you've got or is it giving you a bit more wiggle room?
Not anymore. What I used to do is I used to leave the doors open all day, but I had mesh over. It's just scaffolding mesh hanging over just to stop the birds flying in. But no, I haven't been bothered to go and open and shut doors. The windows do it all for me now.
Right.
While I'm there, of course, the doors are open both ends because it's smack bang in the middle of my plot, that large polytunnel.
And am I right in thinking you've just got them on that one at the moment?
At the moment, yeah.
Right.
On the tunnel at the back, which has got all the tomatoes, peppers, and aubergines in, I've got a wind-up window screen to go in there. So I don't know if you saw Simplify Garden. Tony O'Neill had he put up a polytunnel last year, and he's got a wind-up window with it. It's like a crank-driven thing. And it's a big metal pole, the full length of the tunnel, and you just have plastic on it. And you wind it down to close it, and then wind it up to open it up for ventilation. Brilliant idea. So I've got that to fit yet.
Yeah, no, we'll get a video so I can watch how to do it. You know what I mean? That's the kind of the thing. Hey, my questions.
And simplify it.
My questions is working. I've got my questions. They're all in one little. So that's fantastic. If you want a question asked, put just a capital Q and then your question, and then it'll go. So we'll kick off with a question.
From me there, I asked one.
What about your pay packet? That's coming.
Yeah.
That's coming. I'll have to get the unions to sort this out. There's going to be, get the stars.
Look at this, look. It doesn't say Potty Mouth on that.
Oh, no, look, you see this. Well, there's a hierarchy, you know what I mean? I've got the young kind of, the good, look at that, man.
Look at
that. Full of vodka. Have you noticed how Jimmy's drinking it? He's drinking it so he can look at himself on one side.
Yes.
How beautiful am I? Audrey, what you been up to today?
today.
I think you were having a little
it's
drink of vodka there as well. I just caught you.
no, it's 2:00 here in the afternoon.
That's
okay?
laced. That's laced that cup with vodka.
Yeah, okay. And it'd be bourbon anyway. It wouldn't be vodka. But today, actually, I was planning out some videos, so
All right.
not really being very productive in my work life today.
No gardening or anything like that.
Oh no, it was raining horribly here today.
It kind of win you. Your weather's just like.
I think it's because I'm hanging out with all you English dudes now. Because we don't get rain like that here, but today it was torrential. And tomorrow's 98. I'm not going out in 98-degree heat.
So
I will melt. I will literally melt out there.
You still need though that kind of water the garden. So it's still a bit of a godsend in that respect.
Oh, it is. But it's not real productive when you're trying to get some taping done.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
No, JB, then have you been doing anything? Are you just grafting for the, working for the man and no time for the polytunnel? Or?
No, I haven't actually been down the plot today. I'm going to go after the stream. I really love going down in the evening.
It is a nice,
when it's still light.
Yeah,
it's cooled down. It's a really good time to water as well because it doesn't instantly evaporate.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I've not actually been down.
I was going to say I can't remember if I've asked you, JB. Are you hose pipes on there? Are you collection?
We are hose pipes, yeah, but we're also on clay, so I don't tend to water very often unless it's been quite a prolonged dry spell. I did do the potatoes.
So if you go down though late on, it's normally like a hose pipe. Not many people, because what I find on mine is just people are using it, and then you come to turn yours on, and the pressure is just like it's going to just take me ages to water the tomatoes. I just give up and come back a bit later. Is that the same case with you?
Yeah,
it's the water companies, man.
I've got to be honest, our allotments never get that busy generally, so it's never an issue that I've had. But as I say, I don't really water too often either. So,
is everything any disasters, or is everything going all right?
No, it's all kind of ticking over okay. It's just I'm a little bit worried about the brassicas. That's the main job that I've done recently. Got all my brassicas out, sorted out my brassica bed, which was really neglected and overgrown. And it's really late to be putting them out. And pretty much as soon as I put them out, it's been like really warm and really sunny. So I'm a bit worried that they're going to be all bolting. But they were okay when I saw them yesterday.
That's what Steve mentions. Like a week to wilt, Steve? And what's your little saying?
A week to sulk and then weeks to bulk. So the first week, until they get the roots in the soil, they're always sulking, and I water really heavily for a week, and then just ease off after that.
But surely, Steve, you wouldn't put brassicas out now in the middle of kind of red hot.
Oh yeah, I would.
like this guy does.
I would. Yeah, I'll be doing it not tomorrow, but the day after. I've got a load of winter brassicas going in, so all my Savoy cabbages and kales, and that's all going in the day after tomorrow.
Right.
Nice.
And
so yeah, I would. JB is right.
And you'd put them in. You wouldn't do them because you like an early morning guy. You'd put them in the morning. Just if I'm thinking if people are kind of wondering when's the best time to plant your things, or just any time, long as they get a good water.
Anytime, really. I mean, if you can leave them, if you can do them like JB does at night, that's better at the end of the day. So out of direct sunshine straight away, if you can. But I wouldn't. It wouldn't stop me planting in midday, to be honest. I'd get them in, water them, and I always have spares. I expect to lose one or two, and I'll replace them as and when. Just the way I've always done it.
See, I'm
very rough with my plants.
Well, I'm saying, Steve, we've got rules, but it's knowing when to break them, and that's the kind of this old fella here knows when to break the rules. There,
I'll break them to suit me.
Audrey, what about you? Would you dare? Because it's something I would like. I'd make sure I was in the morning planting, or I'd make sure I was in the night. Are you one of them that doesn't really bother? Just get it in.
Let's put it this way: we're going to have really high temps the next 3 days. I am very reticent to plant out in that kind of heat. So I will probably wait till Thursday before I put anything new in.
It's these young bloody and wild gardeners, man. They just think they can just control nature, man. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I just know how hot it's still going to be at night. I think we're not going down even into the 60s at night. We're going to be like high 70s at night. I'm not going to do that to them. So
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
yeah,
real
it's
sense.
just
That
so
does.
hot. It's just so hot. Yes.
Yeah.
But I agree. If it's a normal kind of temp, I wouldn't mind putting them in when I have time to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll ask a question then. Kate, I'm not sure how to pronounce your surname, Kate. What have you noticed I've changed it to black as well? What can you best grow after garlic in a container? Same soil with extra new compost. Stephen, have you got? Because funny enough, I've just done it for me. And I've put, because mine was not a container, mine was like a raised bed. But I just, little bit of compost there and put carrots in.
Sweet corn. Oh,
Oh
carrots,
no,
yeah.
I put the seed, the tape seed of carrots,
Oh, that's right. The
Yeah.
cheat stuff, yeah.
the cheat
Yeah.
stuff. Well, if it
Yeah.
works, if that works, that's I'm just going to buy. That's it for me from now on. I ain't doing any of this. Have you seen the old fella when he does? And I've looked, Steve. I've watched your videos, and it's just like, can it? And I've tried it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of trying to fan them seeds out, and they're just like, bollocks. You know what I mean?
Maybe I ought to do a better video on how to do that, and that will help. Because it's just sort of trapping in between the fold of your skin, where your skin folds here. That's the dam, and it holds the seeds back until you. Oh, where's the camera gone? Bugger it! But when you flick your fingers out, you open the dam and the seeds fall out, and you just move your hand at the same time. But I'll do it better on the next video
like
that I do with seeds.
It looked like you were tickling cows' udders there. Is that something you do in the Lake District?
I am.
That's for the late show, Tony.
Yes. Well
That's a
said.
Sunday
Audrey.
morning special.
If you want to hear how Steve tickles his sheep. Right, let's just. So, Steve, I'll have to put it back on. Kate, is it Dykers? Is asking, is there anything you would do, Steve, like after garlic in a container with a little bit extra compost? Anything you can recommend to Kate?
Well, yeah, something like kale would be good because it's a good long season crop and they've got plenty of time to grow for the winter. Or the other thing, if you've got some ready, is get some herbs in there, something like a parsley. Again, that will go long term into the winter. Or you could do lettuce, radish, spring onions, even beetroot, a few carrots, any of them. But my garlic this year, when my garlic gets lifted, brassicas will be going in there. So that's when my normal garlic and my elephant garlic, that whole bed will be brassicas this year.
Also, when is that getting lifted then, that garlic? It must be pretty close to that.
It's not too far away. There's still quite a bit of green in it. I want it to yellow up a bit more before I lift that.
But I'll tell you what, I'll just I'll play it now. I was just talking to I'm going to share my screen one moment.
Because
Just Charlie Dowden's had a bit of rust.
actually there's also beautiful
It's a 1 minute video.
fungi in the soil, you can see
Right.
that. And it smells really mushroom and garlic, really good combination. And these, you can see that the amount of rust, there's hardly any green left. If this has happened to any of you, I'd recommend you pull them, because all that's going to happen going forwards is this won't grow much more, if any. And slowly this outer skin starts to decay, like you can see there a bit, and rot. And then before you know it, you're left with a bulb that the cloves are all breaking out and it won't store very well. So if you've got soft neck, this much damage, it's worth pulling. But if you've got hard neck, these happen to be some hard neck here. Look how small these are. These went in at the same time, and because hardneck matures later, so it's just, in the calendar sense, it's not working for hardneck when you get a lot of rust, because the rust comes earlier and stops the hardneck doing its final growing. So we're going to have some quite small hardneck this year, but the softneck, they're okay. They're medium. They would have been quite a bit bigger.
That's quite interesting,
Nice.
that, because I've got it's playing on mine again there. 1 second. Mine was hardneck, and my bulbs did mature. I'd like this a little bit bigger than Charlie's. Do you know what I mean? But definitely not. Like, I thought it was good there. I didn't know that. Like, it's halting almost the bulb size growing because the hardnecks take a little bit longer to mature. Is that something you knew about, JB?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, garlic is one of those things that I would really, really love to grow. And as you know, fellow onion white rot sufferer, it just means that I've never really. Most of the stuff that I learn in the garden is by doing. So, because I've never experienced the same failure that Charles Dowding is showing there, it's just not something I'm familiar with either. I didn't even really know that hardneck needs a longer time to mature in the soil, but it does make sense. If rust has completely annihilated the leaves, it's going to just stop everything from doing what it wants to do.
Well, I must admit, my hardnecks looked exactly like that. Do you know what I mean? They were kind of rusted to hell and back, but it's still, like I say, a decent bulb, and I'm drying them out. And I actually didn't do that much garlic, so maybe it'll last us. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see. Audrey, what's I can't remember. I don't think you would in Disney World get. Look at that. She knows what I'm going to say. You don't get rust. So
I have never experienced rust here with my garlic.
So are you done hardnecks and softnecks this year?
I only do hardnecks.
Why?
Softneck like it a little warmer, I think.
That's exactly right. Yes, they do like a little colder.
Yeah.
But I would have thought your Detroit in summer is warm.
We have called long days, short days. Like when we grow onions, we have to pick a certain kind of onion that will work with our, I think that's longitude. Yeah. So I think softneck garlics do better in the south for us. More tropical.
Right. And is your garlic still in at the moment, is it?
Oh, yeah. I've got another month before I can pull it. We just started getting scapes this week.
Right. Yep. Well, it's the first time, because I've noticed for a few years, actually, folks have been mentioned on my channel. Try them, you know what I mean? Just chop them off, little bit of butter and I did it this year is the first time I did it, and oh my God, it's just I'm honestly just pulling them for 20 years and putting them on the compost bin. It sounds like it. It sounded like I was swearing at your granny there. Tony, no.
Seriously, we give them to our neighbors, and they act like, wow, we just got gold from you guys. Thank you.
Hey.
They're the best.
It's not like, I'm trying to, like, the best way to describe it. It's not like a harsh, it's like a mild garlic, but it's just, the way I did it, Audrey, I don't know if there's a kind of secret way.
Like a gentle garlic.
Yes.
Like they're delicious.
And I just fried them in butter with a little bit of black pepper because I'm trying to cut down on my salt. And hey, as a little side vegetable, like to go with me kind of broccoli and stuff like that. Absolutely lovely. Do you know what I mean?
Or if you're an egg, if you like eggs in the morning, it's delicious in with eggs.
The only thing is though that, like you see, you only get one per plant, and if you've only grown 50 bits of garlic, it's.
I'm growing 600 plus heads of garlic. So we have lots of scapes.
Yeah.
How can it?
No, I'm almost embarrassed. I so over ordered my seed garlic, and it just kept coming, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so I won't be buying seed garlic next year. I think I'll have plenty.
So, taking aside like the wrong order, are you quite keen on planting close-ish together? Because this year I planted mine probably closer than what I would normally in this bed, and nothing was wrong. I was quite pleased with my crop.
Yeah, I give them a little. This year, I wanted to get a really big crop, not just in numbers, but I wanted to make sure I got some beautiful heads, so this mistake does not happen again. So that I can just keep my garlic and put it in myself. Uh, but the scapes to me are like the bonus crop of growing hardneck garlic. Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. Well, Steve, being a chef as well, would that be something you'd actually, in your olden days, you know, like, I know it's hard to remember going back that long, you know what I mean, when you were
Yeah.
a chef, you know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. Is that something you kind of serve up, or is it just like a veg grower, allotment grower's little treat, like a hidden treat?
All those kinds of things would be served up. We had it was almost like a mantra. Nothing was wasted in a kitchen. So, for instance, if you got fish in on the bone, you would fillet the fish, cook the fish, serve it to the customer. But the fish bones you would make into a stock. So nothing was wasted. Everything was used in some way. And if it meant that you were doing garlic scapes one day, if the garlic came in with scapes attached, which didn't often happen, then yeah, if the veg supplier had those kinds of things in, we had all kinds of weird things coming in all the time, and we'd take them off their hands and cook them and serve them up.
That's what I've just thought there, though, and you've just hit the point, though. When you order in, you're just ordering garlic. It's good chance it probably doesn't come with scapes.
Yeah, it was always sort of dried, platted, and we get a big plat of garlic. That's how that. But sometimes we did get specials in, and I missed it. I was off that week, and I've always wanted to try it. But they got a tray in of wild garlic, and I've never actually tried that. I really, really must get out and get some wild garlic and try that, because I haven't as yet.
I'm just hearing Audrey say, have you tried it, Audrey?
I have tried it. I can't grow it on our yard, on our area, because I don't have enough trees. And it likes to grow in kind of a shady, almost forest-like setup. And it will
What
just
you
come back
mean?
there, but it's so delicious.
Won't it grow under 600 garlic bulbs?
I think there's more an issue, Audrey, with the 600 garlic. There's not enough room.
No, but we really don't have any shade. I mean, this is a sunny spot that I have. I wanted to grow mushrooms too. I really don't have enough shade for them.
One thing I need to ask you, though, Audrey, is when you do, you know, when you kind of plant your garlic, are you planting it the right way around? Are you planting it upside down?
Why would I plant it upside
Because
down?
you've done it already with some. The pennies dropped. The pennies dropped.
Yeah, no, I do know the right side of a garlic and the wrong side. Yes, you're funny.
I'm sorry.
Notice I never sent you a picture because you would torture me with that.
I'll have to apologise to Audrey after the show as well. You know what I'll get wrong. JB, garlic. Have you tried them scapes, JB?
Yeah, actually.
You get them in Waitrose, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised you can't get them there. Actually, they're quite a delicacy, aren't they? But well, I don't know. Maybe you can. But yeah, when I did try garlic, I did have some scapes. I remember. I think it was Eli from Kitchen Garden with Eli and Kate, who I sent a picture of them to. I might be misremembering that, but I think that's what happened. And she very kindly explained to me, the absolute idiot, that they were scapes and they're like a delicacy. And I went ahead and tried them, and yeah, sure enough, they are really, really lovely, aren't they?
And how did you cook them?
Yeah, just like you fry it with a bit of butter, have it on the side or something. I think we had it with like mashed potatoes and stuff.
Gorgeous.
But yeah, they're so nice, aren't they?
It's almost like
make a great pesto. They also
what's that,
make great
Audrey?
pesto.
Yeah.
They also make great pesto.
Right.
Because you know, when you have 600 of them, you have to think of things to do with them. Mm-hmm. So, it does make a lovely pesto.
Does it, on their own, Audrey, just like do they keep well in the fridge, or is it something you kind of use pretty quickly?
No, Kevin and I harvested, a good 150 last night, and they're in the fridge,
Wow.
but we need to process those like today or tomorrow.
God, 150. That's like you could have spoonfuls on your plate. You know what I mean? It's just like
But I'm
Nice
happy we
simple.
have 450 yet to go.
what's that, Audrey?
We have 450 yet to harvest. So, yeah,
Oh,
no, I'm embarrassed. Actually, it's like crazy.
I actually missed it. Did you plant all 600? I thought I heard you'd kept some back. You actually planted all 600.
I had over 700, and
Oh my goodness.
I gave a lot to friends who had never grown garlic, and I said, "Here's what you do." And so I think really I have about 650 in the ground.
So when they came to the order, were you after 7 packets?
I would just laugh because Kevin, he grabs the mail on his way in from work, and he's like, "I think we got more garlic." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I really screwed the pooch here because we're going to have a lot of garlic." So we have a lot of garlic.
Garlic, wow. Because like say 7, even 650 bulbs is, I can't imagine how many cloves.
Yeah, no. And I mean, we like garlic, but we're not going to eat that much garlic in a year. Come on. So
You can make garlic butter.
Well, I'm doing like garlic confit with it. I'm going to make a lot of frozen garlic, give away a lot of garlic,
Is your garlic looking nice, Audrey? I know it's hard to kind of tell because all that secret's under the soil, you never know.
Yeah, but my greens look beautiful and they're looking really thick.
Right.
So I think
That's promising.
I think we're going to do good this year.
Fantastic. Oh, I wish you all the best then. That's fantastic.
Yeah, my garlic farm, sure.
Audrey, Fiona Kane's asking here, Audrey, what do you think of the English sense of humour?
I just answered her. Actually, I grew up with Scottish national parents. So I grew up with that sense of humor. Like not Billy Connolly. Well, he was one of them. But who was the other guy? The Benny Hill. I mean, that was what I grew up with. So I love the English sense of humor because I kind of grew up with it.
That's all right. That's all right then.
It was Scottish sense of humor, so it was slightly better. According to my father.
I've got Robin here. Robin Miller's asking, anyone growing black nebula carrots, minor Bolton, atomic red, and envy varieties planted at the same time are fine? Chicagoland. Or Robin's in Chicagoland, so it's similar kind of conditions to you.
I'm growing those. Yeah.
Right. So Robin was asking Bolton.
Yeah, did they bolt? Mine have not bolted. But everything in my garden has potential of bolting right now because our weather is absolutely insane. So I will check on those. But last I saw, they were coming up beautifully. But it's all this weather.
Like you say, Audrey, you're kind of almost fighting a losing battle there with your temperatures. But is there anything you can actually, because that was one of me topics, like for Bolton, can you like protect them with shade or water, or give them plenty of water? Is there anything we can do to kind of halt that? Because it is frustrating. Do you know what I mean? You get you know what I mean? It bolts like within a quarter of its growing season, and you're thinking, bloody hell.
Oh yeah, I had 40 onions bolt on me just 2 days ago, and they were doing beautifully. And all of a sudden, they're popping up flower spikes, and I thought, this is not like the garlic scape, okay? This is like trouble. So so I try to keep my watering as consistent as I can, and I do put shade cloth on. Like tomorrow, there will be shade cloth on everything because that's just hot.
So the onions you're talking about, excuse me, Audrey, the onions you're talking about, what have you done with them? Have you left them? Are you going to try and grow them on, or?
No, I think once I cut the flower scapes off, but we just harvested all these garlic scapes, so I wanted to give myself a day or two to deal with 40 plus onions. So I'll probably be pulling those tomorrow, not tomorrow, the day after in the morning when it's still kind of cool.
Right. And have you got some sort of bulb on there? Have you, Audrey?
I have what?
Have you got like an onion? There is an onion bulb there.
Oh yeah,
All right, right.
I'll get something, but I think they're going to be pretty small because we're just getting up to the longest day tomorrow, right? And I know that's when at least mine do a whole lot of their work on bulbing. So they're going to be small. They're going to go in the freezer.
Steve, have you got any advice for Bolton?
There's not a lot you can do to stop it. The only thing, as Audrey was saying there, is consistent watering really is the key. Once that process has started with inside the plant itself, you're not going to stop it. And that's the thing, is you're not going to know until it throws that flower spike up. So you just got to try to not stress the plants. So in warm weather, making sure, as Audrey says, you're giving them water, they've got feed, they've got everything they need to thrive. As soon as they're in short supply of something, they start to panic, and that's the stress, and that's when they set off bolting.
It's just like you say, and it boils, like say, all me, what you call it's bolted there. That's the first of me Bolton, me coriander.
Well, that bolts so easily. It really does run to seed so quickly, coriander. Really does. Always does, anyway.
For a bit of advice then, Stephen, off you. It's ran to seed, I cut it back. The leaves are not the same coriander leaves. For the actual leaf, as it's shot, have I lost it there now?
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Just when you sow in your salads, Tony, just sow coriander. So every time you sow in lettuce, sow a couple of coriander seeds. So I haven't actually even done mine yet this year, but I'll get some before the end of the year.
Any Bolton, JB? Any Bolton for you, lad? Or
yeah, well, my coriander as well. But I grow coriander mainly for the seeds anyway, because I've got that kind of the soap. It tastes like soap to me. The leaves do, but the seeds I really enjoy the taste of.
Right.
So why are you laughing?
No, it's one of our favourite herbs. Do you know what I mean? Just you've got to be kind of subtle with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm wondering what kind of cook you are, JB. Are you kind of heavy-handed?
No, it's a genetic thing. There's a genetic trait about how coriander leaves or cilantro tastes to different people. I can deal with a tiny bit if it's in certain things, but the seeds are totally different. I love those.
That's the same. Potatoes. That's the same as Brussels sprouts, isn't it? Is there something have I heard this right? Where there's something in Brussels sprouts where you either love them or hate them. I didn't know about coriander. So,
but isn't that more about the way they're cooked than? Right? I mean, my husband hated them because his mom would boil the living daylights out of them. So they were like these gray little golf balls. And I roasted them, and he's like, this is a different thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, because they're horrible if you just boil the living daylights out of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was something. So is that like a whole cabbage family thing? That people don't like it because of the taste?
Well, it's one of those things at Christmas every year. The media, the press, the TV news start talking about whether you like sprouts or not, and you're going to have them on Christmas Day. And the reporters go out and ask people, and that sort of. They make a big fuss about it. But there is apparently some people are physically not built to like them, no matter what you do with them. Because I know plenty of dishes where you won't actually taste the sprout.
So, JB, going back to the coriander then, so it's actually like a soap taste for you, is it?
Yeah, really. It's not quite the same as like the bitterness of a brassica, because I think
that's life, boy.
Well. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's so soapy is the best way to to describe it. It's
Wow,
not nice.
that's bizarre, isn't it?
absolutely
You know
not
how
nice.
it's
Yeah.
because for us, like I say, it's one of the kind of the big ones up there with basil, and just like a
Nice.
little handful or a little kind of chopped up in a salad, just kind of gives that salad just like a little kind of just lifts it to another level. Stephen, what
Definitely.
would give us another little cooking tip for cilantro, coriander?
Coriander folded through a pilau rice. Just a load of chopped, just folded through a pilau rice. It's absolutely amazing. Or add it last minute to a curry. Stunning. Absolutely. But yeah, I love it myself. I have it in salads where it's fantastic. It really is.
Just off the top of your head, then, Steve, how long would you say from sowing to harvesting for coriander for the leaf?
Oh, gosh. Takes 2 or 3
Put you on the
weeks.
spot there.
Yeah, I have really. I've got something I've really.
Oh, I think I might have just got him there.
7.5 weeks.
Thank you very much. And so there's plenty of time still to keep on, like what you just said there.
Yes.
Just if anyone wants to sow coriander, just keep on.
I sow coriander seeds every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that I can have some. Because you just never know when it's going to go off. And it gets very bitter when it goes to seed.
Yeah.
So, and then I say I was planning to grow those as coriander seeds. So it's not a failure. It's just a different crop.
Or did you like what JB said there? Do you keep the seeds as well?
Oh, yeah, they're delicious. And sometimes when this is an old, I don't know, maybe this is just my raising coming out. But if some are old, I just grind them rather than planting them. I grind them and use them as coriander.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Well,
I'm just having a look there. Oh, I'll tell you what. I was going to put Duncan from Coastal Gardens. It's on. And I'll tell you what, I'll just... let me just pull up Coastal Gardens there. I want you all to kind of go over there if you haven't already. And subscribe. Just growing some great veg, Duncan, there on his kind of plot. I've been watching Duncan now and kind of watching how he's growing and just... Yep, and he's got a polytunnel, Steve, and it's just...
I've seen it,
It's kind of... I don't know how I don't know how it's kind of set up, but it's like deep. I don't know if he's dug it into the very bedrock of North Wales, because it's like these shelves are up next to his head and he's climbing up them. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of got to get up a shelf to get onto these things, and it's just like, it's fascinating, to be honest. So yeah,
he's only 2'6" tall.
So what was I've actually forgotten. Have you ever tried growing the small bulbs you get in the roots of elephant garlic?
I have, yes.
Oh, what's them called, Steve? I forget what.
Bulblies.
Bulblies.
Bulblies. And they're really hard because the very first, the coating on them is really, really hard. So you have to soak them really, and then you can plant them to get them going. And it's not a good process because you might plant 30 and you might get 6 come up. And what you've got to do that year is when they plant, you grow them, and you grow them into what they call a round. So it's just one round bulb, a bit like an onion. And then the next year, you plant that again, it gets the frost, and that separates out into the cloves. And then if you want to go further and get a big elephant garlic, you select the biggest cloves from that one and then grow it on. So you're looking like 4 or 5 years before you've got a decent bulb of elephant garlic. And I say the attrition rate is terrible. I tried it, I don't know, 9 or 10 years ago, and I was growing like 30 or 40 every year. And I think I ended up with one bulb at the end, the very end of all of it, you know. The attrition rate was terrible.
I'm actually going to, I think, because I ordered my elephant garlic from the garlic farm, and I ordered 12, and it's dear stuff, and it was only 6, like, worth it. The 6 have come, I haven't dug them up yet, but it's just like, I was not a happy chap anyways with the quality, but I think I'm just going to, like, it just seems not a bit of waste of time, but just like hard work, and especially what you've just said there, Steve. It's just like pointless to be honest.
That's if you're growing from the little tiny bulbs.
Yes.
But otherwise, they're really. But I'll tell you where to get the best ones from. The best ones I've ever seen. I've had them from a few places, and I know people on our allotment site have had some. And I've seen some of the ones that it sounds like you're talking about. But the best place is Robinson's, and they're just down the road from me. It's also known as, and if you search for Mammoth onions,
I've
find them.
That's right.
It's a cracking nursery. I've been there and had a look around. I should go in next time I go down and see my dad. I'll pop in there with the cameras and see if they'll let me have a walk around. But you want to see their crops? It's stunning. I've never seen a nursery like it.
Well, it's funny. I've got the Mammoth seeds. My dad told us about them and dropped us a link to them. So I haven't used them because I wasn't. I'm in the buying sets kind of thing. But now with these actual red onions, touch wood, they're not bolting at the moment as well. So maybe I will just kind of go all over the seeds and that. JB, have you heard of Robinson's? Because it is a bit of a well-known thing, but they do these like giant vegetables, you know what I mean? Like say these mammoth onions, they're known for these mammoth onions.
Yeah, I'm just on their website now, but never heard of them. It's news to me.
Really
I learned
good.
lots on these streams.
Really. Yeah.
So Steve, are the elephant garlic? Is it mammoth elephant garlic, or is it just like are they just selling like an elephant garlic, or is it even bigger than normal elephant garlic?
No, it's just normal elephant garlic, but they just grow it well. And get this is the thing. They grow all their onions on the same field, and I think, I might be wrong in this quote, but I think it's 150 years without break, no white rot.
See how...
Not fair.
How do you work that?
That's smug, isn't it?
I know.
That's so smug.
You've hit the nail right on. That's the exact kind of, when you said that there, I'm almost like spitting at the screen. Do you know what I mean? Like, how,
I thought you would be.
You know what I mean? Like, how is that possible? Do you know what I mean? Because
it's just their management. They've been doing it for so long, and they've always done it growing. I think they got into it for exhibition and shows and that sort of thing. Hence the mammoth onions now, because that's what everyone wants to grow. Mm-hmm. But they grow all kinds of onions. There's loads of stuff, and there'll be onions in there that most of the gardeners that are watching us now will never have heard of, because they have all kinds of speciality stuff, but they grow them all on the same field every year.
Let's just see if
It's
I can...
stunning.
Is it Robinson? I'm just going to try and type it in there, Steve. Is it?
It might be WR Robinson's, but I might be wrong with that. But Mammoth Onions, I'll find them as well.
Yeah, the website is mammothonion.co.uk.
Yeah.
Allotments, Amazon.
Interesting.
I must be...
It's funny, actually, when you're driving down the road and you're driving past it, you can't see the nursery from the road. All you can see is this big sign in the shape of a big onion.
Is that true, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Right. So, like you say, my dad told me about these, because we used to live in a few pubs when I was kind of growing up, and we had like a leek show and a vegetable show, and you know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
Mind you,
you have a good look over that site. It's lovely, and there's stuff it's a little bit pricey in comparison to other sites, but the stuff you get is brilliant.
I've seen that picture, mind you, in my kind of like stock.
Your video,
yeah, like stock pictures where I can get. So mail order, postage and packaging from $2.95, gift vouchers, PayPal. There's a picture of the, don't know if that will bring, look at the size of them onions there, man. That's just like...
It's naughty, isn't it?
Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just... and like you say, it's obviously, with this onion white rot, you've got to be so careful now. So their management of that, Steve, like you said, they must be like so strict about what goes into kind of composts and fertilizers and
Well,
bringing things in.
I have read it before, and I just can't remember what they do. But they do manage the fields well, and they're going in at certain stages and doing certain things. But I don't think they put a great deal of effort into it. They just look after the fields. But I can't remember quite what they did. It was a long time ago when I last read it.
I'm praying to the garden gods for my onions. They don't even do that. JB, because I was talking about coastal gardens there. Now, what Duncan actually does, where he puts some garlic in some sort of like basket, and grew it from like basket, like a nice. I honestly watched some of the videos there. The garlic he's pulling up is just like fantastic, and I thought I might do that as well. Just like it was almost like a bread basket, like a plastic one, nice and deep, and he had loads of garlic come through. Like where we've got it, but if you just put it on like a bag of compost, that compost hasn't got it. Or a good chance hasn't got it. So maybe we could see next year some onions and garlic from you.
That's always been my plan. And for some reason, last year I just forgot. It was kind of garlic time of year, time to get the garlic in, and it just passed me by. But I've got some little plastic troughs kicking about that I thought would be really nice to just, you could just bung them somewhere on the allotment, find some space for them.
Where would you get your garlic from then? Would you just go to a supermarket or get something like that kind of, or would you actually order it?
So I've seen mixed things about the supermarket garlic. Do you know My Family Garden? He's got quite a big channel, Mothin.
Yeah.
And he grows a huge amount of garlic, and all his stuff is, fairly cheap supermarket bought, and it works fine for him. I did one little row, just 4 plants of supermarket garlic, and compared to the stuff that I bought from the Isle of Wight garlic farm, the shop bought stuff just flaked away like really quickly.
Come on, man! 4 is in a row.
Exactly.
I was wondering what you were laughing at. A row of garlic, 4.
Well, I had they were going across the bed, so and
Baby, you're so cute.
I try, okay. It's like half a plot. I've only got half a plot. I've not got like a football field like Steve.
Oh well, that's fair enough. This.
I think I tried like 40 plants.
Right.
That first year, so I did have a whole bed devoted to it. But yeah.
Was White Rot there before you came, JB?
Yeah, it must have been. Well,
it must have been.
Anyway. Yeah,
it must have been. Obviously,
my plot wasn't grown on for years. It was like head-high bramble when I took it on. So, yeah, but it persists in the soil for so long that
I've got. I've been messing on. How I've got these kind of weather things there, and I forgot to mention I've got another. In case we ever do another like carrot challenge, we can go off size, and I just did like a little mock-up. So that's Duncan at the top. Can you see the size of JB's? So if we ever do another carrot championship there, we'll get we'll have a little update every now and again. So
go for something other than just size. Okay.
Have we got any other questions? Let's have a look there. Don't forget to pop over to the Discord later on tonight, because we're going to have a late potty mouth there where you can physically ask your questions. We've got Eli coming up there as well.
Oh, love her.
Right. Asparagus. Tell you what, I'll put it up there. Wayne's asking, planted 7 2-year-old asparagus crowns in March, which grew spindly fronds. 3 appeared to have been nibbled at soil level, but not all the way through and died. I didn't get to that. I'll have to keep that up longer. Any ideas on will these plants survive? See, it's a
Can I answer that one?
it's a time sensitive thing. You know what I mean? It's just like a long time to reap the awards of asparagus. Audrey, I know you were talking about asparagus, and
Yes, no, I'd love to answer that. I think, and I'm sorry, what was the gentleman's name who asked that?
it's Wayne's asking. He's planted 7 2-year-old asparagus crowns in March, which grew spindly fronds. 3 appeared to be nibbled at soil level, but not all the way through, and died. Any ideas? Will the plants survive? The ones that haven't, I guess.
Here's what you need to do: fertilize them and mulch them come winter. And when the fronds die, you cut them off at ground level and see what comes up the next year. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you, because even the ones that looked like they were nibbled might still have really good roots underneath.
Yeah.
Asparagus is just, and it sends out new roots. So the longer you have it in, the more asparagus you get. So I would just let it grow all this season, and when the frost comes and takes the fronds out, cut them down, and mulch it nicely for the winter.
Is it the fronds? Sorry, Audrey. Is it the frost that gets the fronds, like kills them off, so you know that's the time to cut?
Well, I just go when mine are brown and not the beautiful green asparagus looking fronds. I just cut them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I wait till they're dead before I cut them, because that's how the roots get their energy for the next season.
So is it because, like I say, I've never grown them, and it's been like a kind of thing where I didn't want to put the time and effort in there. But you never know, I might grow them.
They'd be beautiful in your strawberry bed.
Right.
They grow lovely with strawberries. Just saying.
Now I've forgotten what the question I was going to ask you, Audrey, about them. So you obviously don't cut every frond down. You know, you're not cutting every. I'm guessing what the spike that comes up turns into a frond. Am I right there?
Yeah, it goes. It's like an asparagus that goes to seed.
Right.
Essentially,
So
what it is.
yeah. So
it's only a 2-year-old plant. He's not cutting any asparagus yet.
So yours then that are kind of say grown and you're cutting them, you mustn't get fronds then, because you'd be cutting them all the time. I would have thought.
No, you only can cut for like 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
And then you let everything else go to seed, and that replenishes the asparagus for the next year.
That's the one, Audrey. That's my muse. Got it right there, lass. See, I didn't know that, because I was thinking, well, I would just be cutting every frond that popped up.
No.
So there's a certain like window, and once that window is closed, you just leave the whole plant to grow.
I would say like 4 to 6 weeks. And some things want to go to seed really fast. You just let them go, because I think the plant, has a certain intelligence and knows, some things need more help than others. And you don't cut the little skinny ones. You just cut the nice big, healthy ones.
Right. Any more questions? Don't forget, put them in the comments there. That would be fantastic. Just put a capital Q. I think I might have gotten most of them there. Let's have a look. What are we doing good for? Oh, bloody hell, the time just flies over. We're just approaching an hour. I found this little bit of, Audrey, I still want to talk about vertical gardens, but I think we do need a little bit more time, maybe in the later show. But I noticed this, I've seen this little article, 40%, and this is why I'm putting it up. Let me just put this, I'll talk about this first, and I'll just show you on the screen. Has anybody seen this? This is
the composter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know. I've seen a video, and it is soil that comes out within, like, say, 10 hours. It looks like soil, should I say. And there's 3 different settings. You can have like a fast one, but I think we're talking £500 for this. So I can't imagine any gardener getting one of these. I can imagine I can imagine, I can imagine some folks going for them. But But it's amazing what like technology's out there to, and it, like I say, within a night you leave it over, and then the next morning there you go, you've got soil. Do you know what I mean? That's just quite.
I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? 500 quid to get
I
a
know.
handful of soil. It's like getting one of those big, stupid coffee machines to get a little thimble of coffee out.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Well, we wouldn't know anybody like that, would we?
Not at all. But I think this is just
It's a step too far.
Yeah, oh, that's it, Steve. That's what I was looking for. It's a step too far. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really need to be invented. Do you know what I mean? If you kind of just have a little bin and have
You
some.
think about it now, 500 quid to buy that, and what's it going to cost to power it with the electric, the way the prices are going at the minute?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
But
Go out and buy a bag of compost.
On the flip side, just being devil's advocate, I read this article the other day. 40% of UK folks get rid of garden waste with a trip to the tip. Now, I was quite, I was quite shocked at that. I was thinking, that's quite a substantial. You know, in this day and age, you think everyone like goes as kind of recycling, composting down. It's not the case. You know what I mean? You're just kind of you're bagging it and driving to like a tip. Do you know what I mean? It's just, if I knew folks that were doing that, I'd be like standing at the roadside saying, "Just leave it for me. You know what I mean? I'll take it. I'll grab it."
And I think that, to be honest, that next year I think gardeners need to get savvy with that and try and stop that happening. I'll give you a little story. There's a company just down the coast from me where I got compost last year, and you'll have heard me on my video saying I got a really good price for it last year. This year it was super extortionate. Next year it'll be even worse. But when they were starting off a couple of years ago, you could take any amount of garden waste in there and they would take it off your hands, mix it all up, and then they would sell it on for a fair price. Now they're charging people to dump their garden waste, then they're churning it up, and then they're selling it for an extortionate price. So they're making an absolute killing. And I think that this is what's going to happen next year with composting in general across the country. There are many good companies out there that many of the gardeners in here now will be used to using, and next year it won't be the same story, and those gardeners are going to struggle to find decent compost next year at a reasonable price.
Well, if I can just point them towards the Lumi, £499. Just give a £45 deposit.
The thing is, you're going to need about a dozen of them to make a decent amount of compost, aren't you? Really?
Steve, you're actually spot on right, because it was brimful. And it's even the container, I'll just kind of go inside, is like that, the one inside. You come out with like a little, say, 4 tablespoons on the night time. It's, you know what I mean? You don't get that much. So, you know what I mean? It breaks it right down, which is a good thing, I suppose. You know, I'm trying to boost the company. It's a good thing, but it's not going to even fill up. It's going to take you...
You can plant a whole pea.
It's going to take you 3 months to fill an average-sized plant pot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that's what it breaks down to. So that's what ours breaks down to. They're not kind of...
I mean, I'd love to test it, not because I'm getting a freebie, but I'd love to test it just to see what it could do. I'd love to be able to just play with that and
I know,
you know,
it's one of them
point
where
and laugh.
Yes, well, the video I watched, mind you, honestly, Steve, he did say, like, it smells of earth. Do you know what I mean? It's like the next day he gets up and it's soil, and it looks like soil, but it's got like 3 settings, and one setting's soil for the garden. One's like a quick.
Oh, sorry.
It's like Dragon's Den, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm trying to pitch an idea here, man. For God's sake.
Forget it, mate. Move on.
I bought the machine. I bought
Sorry,
the whole
everybody,
factory.
sorry. It's soil for the garden.
No, they've got 3 settings. One's soil for the garden. One's and the soil for the garden. I think might take something like 15 hours to break down. There's a quick breaking down one, and then this. I mean, we've given it way loads of publicity, but I cannot see anybody in our circle wanting to go there. Maybe it's the kind of. I don't know who it's designed for. Do you know what I mean? It's just like who would pay
Strange.
that type of money? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it looks a wonderful machine. Don't buy it, but oh dear, I'm sorry.
But like you say, if 40% of folks are driving their cars to the tip with the price of this fuel, do you know what I mean? It makes you wonder as well. Tips of the week. We're getting to our tips of the week. I'll just jump in again with a tip for the week. I just want to. These aren't really tips, but I want to give a little shout out to Glenn Salters, who me and Steve kind of now know. Glenn is not going to do YouTube, he said. He's going to concentrate on Instagram. So please pop over there to salt_and_peppers_ and follow Glenn. And what he's doing with kind of his feed and stuff like that is just fantastic. What he's getting out of his tomatoes and how they're growing. And I'll just show you this little picture here. This, you can just see, is in buckets. He hasn't even got much soil in the buckets. Do you know what I mean? It's so all feed. And if you're into that, please pop over there and say hello to Glenn, Salt and Peppers. What did I say? Glenn. Yeah.
Glenn.
Right, Stephen.
Hello.
Tip of the week, sir.
Oh, right. When you're watering in sunshine, sometimes they say not to water in sunshine. Again, it's a bit of a two-parter. My thing is, if your plants need water, water them whether it's sunny or not. It doesn't matter. If your plants need water, it's more important than your plants getting scorched from water, which leads me on to the second part. When you're watering plants in the summer like this, water the roots of the plant, not the foliage, because each little droplet of water that's on a leaf is in fact a little magnifying glass. So the sunlight goes through there and scorches your leaves, and that's what causes problems.
There you go. Exactly, Stephen. Thank you very much. JB, tip of the week, sir.
My one is about apple trees. So it's quite specific, but lots of allotments do have apple trees. And I've been doing my research this year on codling moth. It's something that it took me a little while to figure out, but my apples, I would come to the end of the season and they were all looking gorgeous and lovely. And you cut into them, and in the middle of the apple, you would find it started to rot from the inside, and there was like a little maggot in there, a little caterpillar. I've learned that is from a moth called the codling moth. And my last video, which was a while back actually, was about using traps to find out how bad your problem is, how bad the codling moth problem is. And something that I've realized since then is that it's quite easy at this stage early in the season to go around your apple tree and just look for any little signs of damage on the apples. You can see like a sort of little entryway where the caterpillars burrow in, and also they kind of eject all this gross kind of brown apple stuff out the bottom, out the back of the apple, and you just pull those off, knock those off, chuck them in the bin, and it means that both you're going to get more energy put into the good apples, and you're going to have a lot less nasty surprises at apple harvest time.
Right. How many apple trees you got? JB, have you got?
Just one.
Just one, right.
It's one, but it's quite a big one, and it's starting to get really tall, actually. And I've planted, technically there's two, but the one that I've just planted this last September is only a little baby. So it's got one apple on it so far, and that looks healthy. So I might get one apple from my second
So when
tree.
I asked you how many trees you had, and you said one, you've got two.
It is too. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
too. But no, it doesn't count for harvest.
Right. And do you get a good crop from that, the big one?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a mixture. So I had two trees, and I took out one of the older apple tree that was it just wasn't doing anything. It looked really poorly. And Thompson and Morgan very kindly sent me a free apple tree to plant.
Oh,
So
Mr.
I stuck that in the ground,
Influencer.
and yeah, I know, it was quite nice.
Oh.
I had a little email from there. Thank you very much. It's a Lord Lambourne, which is meant to be a really nice one. So I'm quite excited to see how it comes out.
Right. What about, actually, it's another thing, Dewey, not that I haven't done that. Is there much care and attention with apple trees, or do you just let them go?
There's more than you might think, actually.
Right.
It depends on, the root stock. If you've got so all apple trees are grafted, right? So if you plant a tree, it won't come true. It'll just be a crab apple because they're open pollinated and they cross with everything. So all apple trees that are known varieties are cloned. So you take a cutting, but you attach that to a known rootstock. And the rootstocks have numbers like M25 or M7. And that will dictate the growth form and the eventual size of the apple tree. So if you've got a dwarfing variety that will kind of get to a certain size and then kind of stop, then that's much less work. But obviously, as it grows up to its full size, you still need to do quite a lot of pruning. You need to train the branches, make sure they're not crossing, and be looking at, how the bearers come out from the stem, what the kind of angles are. If they come off at a right angle, when this gets full of fruit, it's quite likely to snap. So you need to there's quite a lot to pruning. It's a bit of an art form.
Very much so. And you need to prune it a couple of times a year as well.
If you like. Yeah.
Oh. Get you, lad.
Fun,
get you. Audrey.
Yes, sir.
Tip of the week.
My tip is going to be about bolting, because my garden is like
bolting
madness right now. So I want to say, do not get discouraged, because this happens to everybody, and we are beholding to the weather, period. And Mother Nature in these cases is going to win. So have plenty of plants going in the back that you can remove those things that are bolting and pop in some new ones. And now that we're getting closer to the longest day of the year, a lot of things will not bolt after summer solstice, or they will tend not to because they're going into shorter days. So, do what you can with it. Your radish bolts, keep the seed pods because they taste like radish. If your cilantro bolts, make it into coriander. You can still, if your onions bolt, put them in the freezer. I mean, they're still onions. They just won't store great on the shelf. So I just want to say, look at it through really gardener's eyes and see, how can I use this anyway, and how can I have things backed up to replace it.
There you go. So folks, it's not all Disneyland over there in Detroit. It's some hard bloody work. Audrey, thank you so much for coming on, lass. Thank you indeed.
Oh, my pleasure.
Oh, lovely. So, another little, I just want to kind of pull up as well, just a quick one. I have now got a buy me a coffee little program there going. So if you ever want to do that, there's a link in the description. That would be fantastic. Just come over, and I've got a little one there, buymeacoffee.26. It helps pay the server fees for this show as well. So I'm going to jump into the Discord now there and get the late going. We'll just see how it goes. I'm not going to do this probably. I've got to just see if it works in the Discord, but it'd be lovely to have you in there. There's links kind of around on the kind of show notes and everything like that. Maybe you might do this like another night. We'll see how it goes. But I just think, if you want to kind of pop over for just a relaxed kick-off, there's no video, it's all audio, but we'd love to see you in the Discord. And like I say, I'm going to try and bring guests in as well. And we've got Eli coming in there as well. So, Stephen, thank you very much. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Grown Local, he's just done some top work there for you.
He knows what... Oh, yes.
We've got rid of some idiots.
All right, I didn't even see. I'm on the queue, so I only can see the questions there. You know,
I got one of them. I got rid of one, and he got rid of the rest, and he sorted them all out. Good man.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
On the ball there. On the
JB,
ball.
JB, it's always a pleasure, sir. It's nice. Is the
Thank
cup
you for
there
having me.
still? Is the cup still there? Let's have a look.
Oh yeah. Oh, where is it? Yes, it is.
There we go.
I was throwing it in the bin.
He's kind of one cup under.
I've moved to the shandy.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
Audrey, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Right then,
Gentlemen.
so we'll see
See you
if you see us over on the Discord. Look after yourselves. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone.